We're going to try it again. Um, it's weird because I had the microphone plugged into the jack on the front of my computer, which had worked before, but it didn't see it, so I plugged it in the jack in the back. Now I think it's seeing, and it's using my little cheapo lapel microphone. I don't know. Anyway, down in my workshop, and I'm trying to set up my RSP Duo, and of course it could be other uh, SDRs, and I'm using SDR Uno. And the reason I'm using SDR Uno is because they added a really cool scan feature, scan and store. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to try. And I thought maybe I could get some inputs. You know, it's 7:15 in the morning. I get up at 4 a.m., so it's late for me. But you know, there's not a good time to do a live show because I got people watching throughout the world. So, and I should announce it ahead of time. Well, yeah, okay. But if I do that, then I probably won't ever do it. Anyway, I wish I could get this microphone to work. This is my good studio microphone, but it's not connected to this computer at this time. Anyway, I think I said that a couple times already. Let's see what we got here. What I want to do is I want to share my screen with SDR Uno running. Now the problem is when I switch over so that I can see SDR Uno, then I can't see this broadcasting screen, so I don't know what's going on. I can't see the chat, so it's a little bit of a struggle. Um, I probably could, yeah, I could do a side by side of my screen that I'm using to do this broadcast and Uno, but as you'll see, STR Uno wants to use the whole screen. So I'm going to try it anyway. Um, please let me know, the one person that's watching, um, if my audio now is fixed. I couldn't believe the gentleman told me, and I would really appreciate it. He says, your audio sounds like Mickey Mouse. And I'm like, how can it be sounding like Mickey Mouse? And so I said, okay, I'm going to stop the show and go listen to it and see if that's the case. Well, it was the case, and it was completely useless. So maybe I got that problem fixed. I don't know. So I'm going to kind of just mumble around here for a few minutes and try to get some feedback from the people that are watching and listening before I, waste my time and everybody else's time with audio that's Mickey Mouse. All right, I'm gonna give a little drink here. All righty. Um, okay, I got 3 people watching, but nobody wants to let me know. If matter of fact, I'm gonna put something in the chat room um, just to see if that's working. Yep. Oh, okay. All right. We got some input. Audio's good. Excuse me. So that problem is temporarily fixed. What a nightmare. Okay. So I'm going to show you my screen. And then, sorry, then I'll lose what is going out. I won't be able to see what's going out. So I'll have to flip back and forth. Anyway, I want to share the screen. Excuse me. And initially, you're going to get this mirror effect until I minimize. This is what I see right now. This is in the Internet Explorer, not Internet Explorer, but Chrome of my streaming page. And so what I have to do is I need to minimize that to get that out of the way. That's no fun to look at that. And then you will see my desktop. Okay, I got this working, so we can close that. Say okay. Hope I didn't kill it when I did that. So there is SDR Uno working. And this morning, half hour ago, when I tried setting this up, Shortwave was booming. Okay, what I want to do is I want the SDR Uno latest software, which came out a couple of months ago, added this scanning capability. And typically, trying to do a scan, frequency scan, on an HF radio doesn't work too well. It's too much noise. But in SDR Uno, you can control the basically the squelch level. And so you can look on your screen and see what your baseline noise level is, which is right here, and then move the squelch level up above that so that it didn't stop on every little spike here. It only stops on the big ones. So I got this working. It's in the memory scan. No, not memory scan. It's in the range scan. And the range is set to basically the shortwave band. And it's also set to say when it gets a signal, a strong signal, above the threshold level, it saves it in this memory bank right here. And you can see I got a whole bunch of them already. Then, now this is where I need some help. Then I want to edit that memory bank, and it's in the form of a format for SDR Uno. So I think I can edit it with just a text editor. And what I want to do, because to edit this and put in the description in this program is a little cumbersome, not fun to do. So what I want to do is I want to go out of this program, find this file, add in the description of what stations should be on these frequencies, and from the EIB database, the huge database. And then I'll have my own little HF database of frequencies I've heard. And I can share that with you. And you can use it for other programs. You can use it for your analog desktop radio if you want to. And especially if, you know, you live somewhere near where I live, which is in Florida, it makes a good reference. So that's what I want to do. Let me go back to my other screen so I can see what's going on, see if anybody is... Okay, so we got 3 viewers at this moment. Again, this was kind of a spur of the moment, so it doesn't surprise me that, especially on Saturday in the United States, well, like, for instance, in Florida, it's about 7:20. That's early for Saturday. Not early for me. I get up at 4 a.m. every day. On the west coast of the United States, that's like 3 a.m., so that's real early. But in going the other direction, like in England and Germany and stuff like that, that's mid-morning or afternoon. So there's not a good time to do a broadcast, a live broadcast. So that part doesn't worry me. So let me go back, and I'm looking for inputs. And let me go back to what I'm running here. Let me minimize this. So here's what I'm running. I'm running SDR Uno. It happens to be right now connected to my RSP Duo SDR radio. And I have been using this scan function, which is right here, and you either can scan a range or a memory bank, like this memory bank here. And I've been using the scan and having it store what it finds in here. So let's just let that run for a few minutes. Okay, now it's running. And it's going to find noise, of course. Okay, that gives you an example. Let me go back to program. Um, oh, good morning, Larry. Glad you stopped by. Uh, I'm just experimenting this morning, so nothing spectacular. I'm looking for inputs. Um, Now, okay, and let me see if I can show you the actual file. Let me see if I can find it, number one. So you won't be, I'm not screen sharing at this moment. So let me go back to, yeah, it's probably, I don't know. let me, let me minimize this. Now you should be able to see my file manager. And I believe, um, this is the file that it's working on right now. It's creating, which I called HFT1, and it's .sib. Now my question is, let me see if I can open it. I'll open it with something simple. WordPad, okay, yeah, see if what it looks like. Okay, all right, I thought I selected that. Okay, and there it is. So it's pretty simple. Nothing complicated. So what I want to do, and I'll have to look at another file, another SIS1B file, to see where in all these columns, or potential columns, the description information is. And so what I want to do is I want to load in the EIBI database, which is a huge database going from DC to light, and then search for these frequencies and cut and paste the station information into the right column here. So I have created a database that, let me close this down, that looks like this one here, but has all the information under description, instead of trying to add the description within this program. It's a little difficult. And I can, let's see, here's an EIB database. I'll open that, I'll show you what it looks like. So there's what it looks like. It's got the frequency, other information, and then this description. So what I want to do is I want to combine the one that I'm creating, which is only the stations I can hear, and add to it the station information. And there's probably, there's mine again, there's probably a very efficient, instead of manually doing it, way to do it in Excel, where in Excel, you have it search inside this file for these frequencies, and then have it find that frequency in the EIB database, which is also in a CSV file format for Excel, and then have it cut and paste the description from that file over to this file and do that for all these entries, because I'm going to get, you can see I'm going to get a lot of entries. There will probably be close to 100 entries. Now, whether they're good entries or it's just noise or not, that's another thing I have to determine. So the first thing I'll have to do is, once I let this run for a couple hours, I'll have to go in and see if some of these frequencies are obvious, just noise or data or something like, not voice, and eliminate those. So let me go back to my other screen here and see how we're doing. Okay, we got 6 people that are up and watch. 8 people, wow. And we got Raymond. Hey, Raymond, how you doing? From Australia. So you're saying it's 9. Oh, it's 9:38 Saturday night in Australia. Okay, great. See, that's what I'm saying. You know, with people watching all over the world, there's no good time for me to do these streams. Okay. Now, so I hope you understand the concept here with trying to create this database. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to share this database with my viewers, probably especially applicable to people near me, but also so it's a verification of stations that are really on the air, that I've heard they're really on the air. Okay, so if we go back to that screen, we minimize this. So there's my SDR Uno. And now, you could do this with like a little $25 dongle that I really like, and it's like SDR console. And SDR console has similar features, and SDR console will work on many, many, many SDRs, from the $25 to the $10 dongle. And I want to do the same idea as creating this database that I can, and what you do is once you have, in this program, once you have this memory bank saved, then you can go to the, and I'll do it right now, you can go to the scan mode memory, and then it will scan just these frequencies, which I'll do it right now. There you go. So it's scanning what's in here. Okay, and the way, and you got options here. I'll go up here in this scan of if you're using a range scan, you can change these ranges in the step frequency. If you're using memory, which is going to use these frequencies, you can change how long it stays on a channel, what the threshold, or call it squelch, is, and that's the beauty of this program and why it can do scanning in the shortwave band, which most shortwave receivers either can't do it or don't do a very good job. And you could say wait on signal, so as long as there's a signal there, it will not continue to scan. You can display the threshold on the screen, which, let's turn that on. There it is right there, that line. And then you can adjust that threshold to get it above the noise level, which I did. It's a minus 80 dBm. And then you can have an option to save to whatever memory panel you had selected. And then you can ask it, and you can tell it to continuously loop starting at the beginning and go to the end. Let me stop. And where the heck am I at here? I can't get, there we go. Okay, my screen is not updating anymore. I think I've overtaxed my computer trying to do this. No, it's still giving me this information, but I lost this screen here. Let me exit and start again. Okay, all right, let me open it back up. There we go. So what I was going to say is I have to correct myself. I'm in the memory scan mode and the scanner configuration. And you should be able to, and there's always, I'm doing something wrong here, is I can't change the ranges. And I don't remember why I can't. There's something about what I'm doing right at the present time that doesn't let me change these parameters. And I can't remember what it is, but anyway, you can set a start frequency, which I set to 3.5 megahertz, a stop frequency, which I put to 17 megahertz, and then a step which I made 5,000 hertz or 5 kilohertz. I don't remember why I can't change this. There is something that I'm doing that doesn't allow me to change this. I thought it was because it was running, but it's not running right this minute. And it's locking up again. There we go. Huh? How do I? There we go. There's the button I was looking for. It was kind of hidden there. I'm sorry. That's why I'm looking for inputs. I'm looking for help. Okay, let's go back to my other screen so I can see who's here. Dave Shaw is here. I'm using a little lapel microphone. Let me turn off screen sharing. I'm using this little tiny cheap lapel microphone, and I've lost the clip for it, so I had it just hanging on a belt loop. My shirt loop, button loop. I'll get it in a minute. Good grief! And it keeps falling off. So if my audio is changing a lot, that's probably why. So let me put it back. And I had it plugged into the front connector on my computer, and it wouldn't work. So I moved it to the back. Now the cord is too short, so I'm struggling with that. So I've got to find an extension for that if I'm going to use this, because the built-in microphone. Oh, that fell on the floor. Oh, brother. I am not having luck here. Kind of my typical day lately. I'm just going to hold it, okay? I already paid like, I think $5 for this, and it broke the darn little clip. That's unfortunate. Anyway, oh, okay, David. Yeah, David, you should have been around for the first try at this. I was trying to use my webcam microphone, and for some reason, in this program, it made me sound like Mickey Mouse. I mean, really sound like Mickey Mouse. So somebody told me, thank goodness, and I stopped that and switched over to this lapel microphone, which hopefully is working. I'd like to be using this, but it's not connected to this computer. Probably should do that eventually. Anyway, if anybody has any inputs on my dilemma, I'd appreciate it. And the basic dilemma is not, let me go back. I'll go back to screen sharing. Screen sharing. Share screen, okay. Entire screen, share. Okay. And then I'll minimize this. Still learning how to use this software. So I'm not really looking for input on STR Uno. I'm more looking for input of how to manipulate this memory bank that STR Uno is creating for me when I'm scanning. So, as I pointed out before, if I go here, and here is the file that it's creating, and I can open this this is WordPad, and here's the file format with the different columns separated by a comma. So this is a CSV file. What is missing is a whole bunch of the information that's normally in this file. Let me go back. Which is these other columns here. And I can scroll over, show you some of these other columns. So the one that I'm looking for to insert, once it's made a list of shortwave frequencies that it's found, I want to go in and fill in the description of what the station should be on that frequency. And I can do it manually. Let me go back and go to the EIBI database, for instance, that's one of them. Look up these frequencies and manually type in the station information. That's going to be tedious because I've just run it for about 20 minutes, and I probably got 100 entries already. So that's a lot of work. So I'm looking for some way to combine, like either in Word or Excel, the description information from the EIBI database into this guy here. Um, if I go back and let me find another one. Here's trying to find one. Oh, here's an EIBI raw. This is just right from the website, but it's been converted to the S1 B1 format. So let me open that one. And now here's what I want. It's got the frequency. I can't remember what this is. It's got the mode AM, and then it's got this description. I want to capture this description and put it over in my file. And I want to do it somewhat automated. Instead of having to manually go through here and find the frequency, cut and paste, and then go over to my other file, cut and paste. I have one of my subscribers is very good at Excel, and he took the Excel file from the EIBI database, which, for instance, it has duplicates. Like here, there's the same station information included twice. And the reason it's twice is because it comes on different times of the day. Well, if you use this database, raw, in SDR Uno, it's going to take forever to scan. So he was very versed in Excel, and he created a little macro to eliminate all these duplicates. So it shrunk the database down from thousands of entries to maybe 1,000 entries, which if you use the scan function, it went much faster. So maybe he'll see this show and jump in there once again and help me out. Okay, let's see what's going on with my streaming. Where'd it go? Here it is, right here. Okay. Okay, I think I've kind of told you what I'm looking for and trying to do. I don't know if there's a lot of interest on SDRs. I really need feedback for people to tell me, hey, I'm not into SDRs. Go back and talk about analog radios. Forget SDRs, especially the ones from SDR Play. I really, really like the radios, the SDRs from SDR Play. They do a fantastic job. They're a little pricey. They're over $100. And the SDR Duo, which has dual functions, 2 receivers, is close to $300. So it's kind of pricey. But as far as my experience, they perform as well as SDRs that cost $5,000. So I'm kind of hooked on them. But if there's not much interest or a limited interest, then I won't do as many shows. I'll do shows about those products and SDR Uno because I love it. And I love, let me go back, let me minimize this. Now that I've kind of learned how to use it, I love this. And especially the scan function for scanning HF band. You can see here's all the things it's found in about a half-hour scan. And then once it finds it, I can select memory mode, and I can see I messed up again. In the memory mode, you cannot select a range. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. I'm such an idiot. You can select a range when you're using, let me close this down, the range mode, dummy. Now you can change these. So what I did initially is I set up this range, 3.5 to 17 megahertz, 5 megahertz steps. I did that scan and created this memory bank. And now I can go to memory scan and it will use these frequencies and scan these frequencies. I'll show you right now. So now it's scanning just these frequencies. And of course, um, the signal level will vary depending on conditions. So when I scanned it, the signal might have been there. Now it's gone. That's shortwave for you. So I've made so many mistakes in this show that I'm going to quit. I'm confusing you, myself, and everybody else. Where the heck am I? I don't even know where I am. Okay, let's stop sharing my screen. Um, okay, Larry, thanks for your input about SDRs. I'm glad somebody else is interested in SDRs. I think that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. You get so many more controls of the software-defined radio than you can on an analog radio. And if your SDR doesn't go bad, typically they don't, then their performance is constant. I mean, they don't degrade over time like big boat anchor radios do. So I'm going to call this quit. I'm going to decide whether I want to save this show or not, or just delete it. I thank everybody who stopped by. That's about it. I've enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye-bye.